Elections come and go every 5 years. Among the numerous constituencies going for polls, few grab the limelight due to the notable names contesting from the place, while few manage to get the attention because of some spectacle taking place. There will be a flurry of rallies, meetings, manifestos and big promises for a few days, and as the voting day closes, everything will be back to normal. This was the norm for Munugode for years until the resignation of its elected legislator Rajgopal Reddy, thereby necessitating the by-election. The otherwise sleepy town of Munugode Assembly now suddenly finds itself in the spotlight. It is abuzz with political activity and a center of attention for the past 2 months. Politicians from various parties queued up to the constituency, and perhaps villagers are looking at the reverse trend of traffic jams and motorcades from the city for the first time, which normally saw workers shuttling between the city and their villages for their jobs. If you think we are going to analyze which candidate or party is going to win the election, then no, we will not go into it. But we are going to look at something much more important, going away from all political clamor. It is interesting to see how the people are looking at these elections and give out hints of what elections are turning out to be. The Munugode elections are considered to be the semi-finals for the general elections to be held in Telangana and will determine the political future of the state. For the parties contesting in the elections, the stakes are so high that the parties have roped in their missionaries from ministers, MLAs, MPs to sarpanchs and their entire cadres on the ground for touching every section of the electorate. There is a dearth of places in Munugode as all the hotels, function halls, eateries have been booked already. Even houses were rented and in some places makeshift tents were erected too. Small grocery points, food stalls, hotels and bakeries have roaring business, making tenfold increase in their daily collections, with visitors being patrons on large scale. The free flowing of liquor and supply of meat into villages saw many households stop cooking altogether. It is reported that Rs 200 crore worth of liquor was sold in the constituency, and the villages are filled with heaps of empty liquor bottles. Poultry farms are going empty and are striking deals with the farms in neighbouring constituencies to meet the demand. Irrespective of who is going to win in what could be the costliest by-election in the state, the power and influence of money is a force to be reckoned with. People of Munugode who have never witnessed the unprecedented political activities and politicians making a beeline to their villages are now visibly enjoying all the unusual attention they are garnering. People welcome the freebies and gifts doled out to each house. People demanding gold and cash for casting their vote have come in for a rude shock for the ministers and MLAs camped there. And the buzz going around that the political parties are spending anywhere between 4,000 to 5,000 for each vote shows how desperate the politicians are. Things have not stopped there. People even force the political parties to pay a sum for simply appearing in the videos supporting them, which would be posted on social media. Agricultural labourers have abandoned the farms and are participating in electioneering with good pay, apart from the free liquor and food provided. It looks like people are making hay while the sun shines. You might be asking, are the politicians successful in buying the votes? While it may be true for some part, on the other hand, people are quite aware of the political happenings. We will see that in a bit, but first, let's look at their observations. Come the election, there are those few claimants as opinion makers, community leaders and influencers. The sarpanchs and leaders in Munugode have switched camps and loyalties and minted money so much that the overnight brand new vehicles were seen to be used by them in election campaigns. A candidate went on to promise a US visa for unemployed youth. Overall, people are disenchanted with electoral politics. They have seen how the government, which did not bother to solve basic public issues, are now pumping in funds into their constituency. Not only that, a senior minister from the ruling party adopts the constituency to ensure more development. Some opine that the voters must force their legislators to quit anticipating the same attention they are garnering now. The by-election development has become the new norm in the state. People are also keenly watching the theatrics and dramatics enacted by the politicians. While the netas think they have convinced the public, they, on the other hand, gave a quick verdict in analysis and even called out the gimmicks using the social media platforms. People are nonetheless observing the defections of various leaders from other parties and categorically changing their tone. Open appeals were made by leaders to accept the inducements offered for their votes but cast their votes only for them. While we are seeing politicians going all out to impress their voters, people have long made up their minds about whom to vote for and are enjoying the attention. They want to play the politicians in their own game. The electorate has become wiser too and are having the last laugh. What does this whole exercise say about the elections and the democracy? It is a pertinent question for one to ask today. How much money can one splurge for contesting an election? Politics is beyond the reach of a common person now. At a time when the country witnessed its president, prime minister and chief ministers ascending the top positions despite coming from humble backgrounds, could the same be realized in future when there are entry barriers set in favor of those who have money and resources? The electorate and politicians must ponder on these questions on what we have reduced the elections to.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.